Galloway's support through sight loss. Galloway's Get Active presents Mere Sans Wood.
Hi guys, James here from Galloway's, and today we're at Mere Sans Wood. I'm going to do another audio described virtual walk for you guys. We're going to take the outside path, which is probably one of the longest paths around here, and I think it's just over a mile in length. It's on good paths. There are hides that we can look in as we're going round, so you can look out over the lakes, you can hear all the bird life. Lovely autumn day. It's a bit damp and overcast, but it's nice autumn weather. So stay tuned, come along, and we'll see what we can find for you. Come on, let's go. So we leave the car park, we go past the toilet block, which is new. Never had the toilet block there before, so that's good. You may be able to hear some geese flying about.
The history of Mere Sans Wood. In the Middle Ages, the land of what is now Mere Sans Wood was under the waters of Martin Mere, the largest lake in England, 4 miles long and 2 miles wide. In 1695, the local landowners agreed to drain the mere to create the farmland that surrounds the reserve today. However, over the next 250 years, the land still frequently flooded, and there were many more unsuccessful attempts to keep it dry all year round. Only with the opening of the new pumping station on the coast at Crossens in 1961 was the area reliably drained.
Green roof at Mere Sans Wood. So I think what that's telling us about is some of the hides have got like a natural grass roof to the hides, so they blend in, and it ends up being like a small wildflower meadow on the roof.
So yeah, you are right, James, it is about a green roof, and it's saying this hide has a green roof installed in 2012 by volunteers with funding provided by the Lancashire Environmental Fund. And it goes on to describe the roof. It says a green or living roof is one which is wholly or partly covered in vegetation on top of a man-made structure. On this roof we replaced the original roofing felt with a waterproof and root-proof layer, then added a protective matting on which we put a substrate of lightweight crushed brick. We spread seed from flower species which will survive in the conditions on a roof, with very little soil and few nutrients in a windy and dry habitat.
So as we're coming to one of the hides, you can see, best way to describe it, it's like a big shed with seating, and you've got some windows that look out over one of the lakes.
Video shows views across the lakes, showing some of the birds.
It goes on to say that green roofs have many benefits for wildlife and people. By replacing the green space lost when a building is erected, they help conserve biodiversity. They are especially good for invertebrates as they provide a dry habitat which warms up quickly in the sun. At Mere Sans Wood, we wanted to create more open areas within the woodland to encourage flowering plants and insects. So for people, green roofs provide a high level of insulation, keeping buildings cooler in summer and warmer in winter. They also extend the lifespan of the roof by protecting it from the weather. In towns, green roofs slow water runoff, improve air quality and muffle noise.
So when we come out of the hide, we follow the path, which is a firm path, and through the woodland you might be able to hear some geese flying about. Video now shows a silver birch tree with some fungus growing out from the side, which are like little plates sticking out. The fungus is a white colour. show a rotten stump with more fungi, which is more of a pancakey colour, and they look like pancakes sticking out the top, sticking out the side of the stump.
Mere Sandswood was planted sometime between 1818 and 1845. It was much smaller than it is today. What is now the eastern half of the wood was fields. The 1845 map shows the field layout at a nursery garden on what is now woodland. The line of oaks alongside the ditch by Mere and Lake marks the run of one of the old hedges.
The path goes through the outskirts of the woodland. There's a sign pointing to one of the hides. There's all sorts of trees, rhododendron, silver birch, ash. Now we're just following a path that takes us to another hide. There's brown leaves littering the path. There's a view over the lake. You can hear some geese. We're now back on the path, following it the same direction we were travelling before.
In the 1800s, game shooting became a popular pastime, and Mere Sandswood was planted with oak trees and rhododendron bushes as a covert or shelter for game birds. It was known locally as Yen's Wood, after the head gamekeeper Yen Corns.
So there's lots of autumn colours. There's still a lot of green knocking about, but there's some browns and yellows. Just past a birch tree and some more rhododendrons. The path is a good path and it's suitable for walking, strollers, wheelchairs, electric wheelchairs and the sort. It's very flat and accessible. Two people are walking past the camera. Now we're showing some tree stumps that have been carved into the shape of some big toadstools for people to sit on. It's back on the path. On the right hand side we've got some views across a field.
In 1920, Mere Sandswood was sold in a package with Rufford New Hall, which became a hospital. The oak trees were felled and a fire destroyed most of the remaining wood. Birch trees and rhododendron colonised the bare ground, and in the 1930s the pine plantation was created. By the 1960s, Mere Sandswood was a single dense woodland.
There's a shot showing some more fungi as the camera lifts up to show the path. Now we branch off the main path and head towards another hide. Again, the sounds of geese. Inside the hide there's a notice board showing the different types of birds that can be found on the site. And the sounds of the geese as we were sheltering from a rain shower. You can hear the rain and the geese.
In 1958, Mere Sandswood was sold to a sand extraction company. The wood sits on a bed of very fine Sherdley Hill sand, which is used in the glass making industry. Sand from here was taken to Pilkington's glassworks in St Helens. It was the process of sand extraction that created the lakes.
Some views showing the lake. There's some brown reeds in the dark sky and the rain dropping down. Now there's a friendly robin taking food from the hind, and Robin was taking food out of my hand. Some more fungi on the moss covered log. This is sort of a yellowy brown crawler. The path now turns over a boardwalk. Again, we've got a field to our right and the big part of the wood on your left. There's another fungus with veins. It's a biggish brown colour on a mossy log, and some little more yellowy coloured ones on the floor covering a mossy log. You can hear a robin singing in the background. There's a notice board showing the different paths. Now I've got one of the drainage streams with a small waterfall.
A condition of the planning permission for the sand extraction was that when the extraction had finished, the land would become a nature reserve. Members of the Lancashire Trust for Nature Conservation worked with the sand extraction company to shape what would become the reserve it is today.
As we follow the path, we come to an old hide that was on stilts. It's now unsafe for use, but it is now a big colony of bats. So it's like a big bat cave on stilts. It's probably about 10 to 15 feet high off the ground. Now got some more fungi on the floor in a rain shower. These are sort of an orangey brown colour. Back along the path, and the woodland is now starting to turn into pine woodland. This part of the wood has a different atmosphere. Really tall, straight trunks of the pine trees. Walk along the path through here, you've got a lot of browns of the bracken that's turning the autumn colours, mixed in with some of the green of the other vegetation.
In 1982, the land was sold for a nominal sum to Lancashire Wildlife Trust, which manages the reserve as a mix of woodland, meadow, heath and lakes.
As we follow the path, it leads back through the woodland and out onto a viewing platform looking over one of the lakes. There's some mallard ducks and a moorhen and coots. Back along the path we go through a gate that leads on a wooded path which eventually comes out onto some meadowland. You can hear the call of robins in the woodland. In the spring and summer months, this meadow is a mass of wildflowers and you'll see different sorts of dragonflies and things knocking about as well. We keep following this path, it brings us back to the car park and the visitor centre.
Okay, so that's just been a virtual walk around Mere Sands Wood. Hope you've enjoyed it. With it being autumn, there's been lots of fungi that you've been able to see. You've listened to a little bit of the history of the site. You've seen some of the fungi knocking about, the friendly robins that are also here. If you fancy coming along, it's only a short walk. There's plenty parking. There is a new toilet block we've built, so you've got all the facilities you need. Bring a picnic. There's the hides you can go into, so if you've got some vision, come with your family, have a look, bring some binoculars or something like that. There's loads of bird life knocking about. Just got the sights and the sounds. We're just in the middle of a downpour at the moment, but hopefully you've enjoyed the walk. Stay tuned, look after yourself, and we shall bring you another walk shortly. So for now, thanks for watching, just as it starts raining and hailing. Alright, bye for now.